Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day so far and thanks for tuning in to our training video. In this video, we'll be going over cost item database, which is a little different from our other modules, but the CIDB, or the cost item database, is a great way for you to create and manage reusable entries for materials, labor, equipment, and other items if needed. To get started, let's head over to our menu, and on the far right hand side under settings and support, let's click on cost item database. Now, like I said, the CIDB is a little different from our other modules. If we take a quick look through, we can see that all of our existing cost items are listed over here. And if we're looking for a certain one, we can actually filter and search for it on the left-hand corner. We can also look for it depending on the SKU, the name, the unit, or other items as needed. We can also filter by active or archived items. On the far left-hand side, if we open up this sidebar, we can also look through and filter by materials, labor items, equipment items, or other items if needed. On the top right-hand corner, you'll probably see some buttons that you're familiar with. The first one is a watch a how-to video, which is likely how you got to this video in the first place. In addition to the video, there's also a number of different articles from our knowledge base, which I'd highly recommend you checking out. We also have a suggest a new feature button. Here at Contractor Foreman, we're always looking to improve. If you have a suggestion, an idea, a tip, or feedback on how we can serve you better, feel free to drop us a note. We're always monitoring this inbox and we're always launching new upgrades to help our customers better. And lastly is the module settings button. If you'd like to automatically save manually added items, you can click yes or no if needed. The purpose of having a cost item database and entries inside of it is that it allows you to create and manage reusable entries for the other modules that you're always using. For example, for your estimates, invoices, change orders, POs, time cards, and more, instead of having to enter the same costs and the same items multiple times and over again, you can simply just import them from your cost item database. That'll help you to create these items sooner and much quickly and use Contractor Foreman much more effectively. So, as an example, let's go ahead and create a new cost item database entry. We'll head over to the right-hand side and click on plus item, and for this example for now, we'll go ahead and click on plus material item. Please note, for any fields with an asterisk beside it, it means it has to be filled out for us to continue. So for this example, let's say we're using a 1-gallon bucket of paint. We can add an SKU number if needed, and a cost code as well. We can also go ahead and click on a product image. We can also include variations. So for example, for this bucket of paint, if it comes in multiple colors, green, blue, black, etc., and the price is the same and it's the same product, instead of having to enter the same cost item database entry several times but just in different colors, we can just include variations. For example, I can include green, blue, black, orange, and next time I can just click on one of the variations and this will save me time when I'm creating cost item database entries. Now for the pricing, I'll put $5 per bucket. And there's two options that I have for the markup, the hidden markup and the markup. You can apply a hidden markup to the unit cost, and the hidden markup will not be visible to when the estimate once you import it in. The hidden markup cannot be seen in the estimate by sales or by anybody except the project manager. However, if you apply a regular markup, anybody, when they're importing it to the estimate, can see what the markup is. Please note, neither the hidden markup or the markup can be visible to the customer when you're submitting a proposal or an estimate. So for this example, we'll go ahead and choose a hidden markup of 20%, and this makes our selling cost $6. Now, anytime anybody is importing this into an estimate, it'll show up as $6 as the selling cost, and within the proposal that they're working on or within the estimate that they're working on, they can go ahead and apply a separate markup if needed. We can go ahead and click on a supplier, enter a product link if needed, and any internal notes if you'd like to keep. Please note, the description will be visible within the estimate or PO, but the internal note is only for yourself and your team. For this, I'll add a description of 1 gallon paint. You can also add files, including receipts, invoices, pictures, etc. I'll go ahead and create the material item. Updating markups within the cost item database can be a little tedious because you can likely have hundreds of different items. One efficient way to apply the same markup across multiple items or all your items is by going to the top right hand corner and clicking on Apply Bulk Markup. Once here, you can go ahead and add a percentage and add a standard markup to any items that you're selecting. Or if you already have a set markup, you can reset it to 0 or reduce it if needed, or reduce the markup of all items but maintain a minimum if needed as well. And you have a couple different options to play around with it. If you'd like to do only a certain number of items, for example, if you'd only like to do your materials, you can go ahead and click on all your material items, select all of them, go back to apply bulk markup, and apply that to your selected items, which in this case is all the materials. This way, you can go ahead and quickly apply a markup depending on how you'd like. Maybe it's a different markup for different items. And this way is much more efficient and much more quicker than applying individual markups to each of your items. Let's cover how to import cost items from a CSV file. This is the fastest way to build your database if you already have a price list in Excel. In order to do this, let's head over to the right-hand corner and click on Import/Export to CSV. From here, we have a couple different options. One is that we can go ahead, if you already have a CSV file for a specific item type, and go ahead and import it. If you like to see a list of existing imports, you can go and click on here. And if you'd like to export the database that you have, you can hit on Export, select the item type, and export it. For this example, we'll go ahead and export our material database. And we'll open this up. And as you can see, we now have a CSV file of all of our existing material cost item database entries. If we'd like to add more additional items, we can do so here from an existing price list that we have. And once completed, we can import this back into Contractor Foreman. I'll go back to Import, select Item Type and Material, select the file that I'd like to import, and as you can see, we can do a final review before we hit Upload. Once done, it'll overwrite and add in the new additional items that you'd like to add. Please note, you can also click on Update Existing Item that have the same ID number. Records with different ID numbers will be added as new items. If you're not deleting the existing items and you would like to add them or change them and re-upload to Contractor Foreman, make sure you click on this button before you hit upload. Once done, it'll overwrite your existing database and import it based off the CSV file. Another efficiency tip which I can give you is if you go to the right-hand corner and use Item Group. Item groups let you bundle multiple related items together as one reusable package. This is very helpful for repeated tasks and to help you not having to import multiple number of items over and over again. So for example, let's say we want to install a 2x4 concrete pad which uses some material and some labor as well. Rather than importing those two different line items or more, we can go ahead and make one item group, call it installing 2x4 concrete pad, and add the labor and material costs inside. Next time when we're trying to make a new change order, an estimate, or an invoice, we can simply just import the 2x4 concrete pad. So let's do this together. For this item group, I'll go ahead and call it install 2x4 concrete pad. I'll go ahead and click on plus manage items. And I know I need some materials. And I have a 2x4 concrete pad bag, which is ready. And I know I need some labor. So I'll click on my journeyman who I'll be using to install and add both of these items to my group. I'll go ahead and click on one of these bags and I know it's going to take me 16 hours. And I'll add an internal note for myself, labor and material to install 2x4 concrete pad. And it's as simple as that. We can add a file if needed. And next time I want to make a new concrete pad, I can simply choose this item group instead of those two associated items and save myself some time. Please note, If you're making changes to the price for individual items, for example, let's say the cost of the 2x4 concrete pad bag goes up, it will not change the cost of this item group. That has to be updated manually. And that's it. Another tip that I'd like to suggest is something called One Build integration. Contractor Foreman integrates with OneBuild.com, which is a leading provider for local material and labor cost data across the US. This integration allows you to quickly and accurately pull pricing information directly into your cost item database, saving you a lot of time. Essentially, OneBuild it provides real-time local pricing data for all your material and labor requirements and works with CSI and NAHB cost coding systems. Before we get into OneBuild, there's a few things to note how OneBuild will work depending on your contractor foreman plan. If you have a trial period and a preview, you'll have full access to the OneBuild pricing database. If you have a basic and standard plan, you'll have access to the database, but unit cost and unit values will be disabled. Lastly, if you have Plus, Pro, and Unlimited plans, you'll have full pricing import capability and the option to disable unit costs from the import if you prefer. To show you how to integrate OneBuild into Contractor Foreman, I'm going to head over to Settings on the far right. Once here, let's search up OneBuild and click on the first link that pops up. We'll head over to the top right hand corner, click on Edit, and choose our default location. For this scenario, I chose Washington, D.C., where my company is located. I've chosen CSI cost codes, and you can also choose NAHB for residential cost codes. And you can select, if you'd like, unit cost, unit, description, photo, and cost code as necessary. For now, I've chosen everything. And hit Save. Now, we'll close this and head back over to our menu and go back to cost item database. And you're ready to start using OneBuild integration. Let's try importing an item from OneBuild now into our cost item database. We'll head over to the far right hand corner, click on Actions, and go to Import from Pricing Database. As you can see, we can now import from OneBuild.com item database. We have the default location, which we established from our settings before, and for cost codes to import, I've chosen CSI. Like I mentioned earlier, if you like for residential cost codes, you can click on NAHB as well. Under which fields you'd like to import, for now I've gone ahead and checkmarked all of them. But if you'd like to ever change it, you can go do so here as well. Now let's go to search, and let's say I'm looking for the cost for a handrail. I'll go ahead and click on this 6-foot pressure treated cedar wood tone handrail. I'll click it and hit import. And as you can see, I can find it down here. Click on it. And from OneBuild, I now have my cost code, a picture of the item, the unit cost, the unit, and I'm ready to go and import this into my estimate, my invoices, my CO as needed, saving me a lot of time and helping me to find the rough cost from the OneBuild.com database. If you need help or have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us by the live chat or send us an email at support@contractorforeman.com. And if you'd like to have any more in-depth training, make sure to book a session on our training page. Thanks for watching and see you in another video.